Good evening, everybody. We will continue our session on project management. Yesterday, we have seen the pre-project lifecycle events, and some of them are still left out, so we'll complete that. We'll open our session today that when we are looking forward for a project, correct? So, the project we do to gain something, to achieve something, correct? There's an objective behind it. And that achievement of that objective need to be measured. So the basic question comes that who are investing into the business, who are investing into the project for their business purpose, and the project manager, the person who is executing that project, okay, they need to ask something to themselves that what is how we are going to look, what we are doing, how it's going to be look after we complete it. In simple word, if I say, how the success looks. So what does success looks like for this project? The first question. What I'm going to achieve? What is my success? That is point number one. How it looks. Second is how I will measure. Okay, it's visible, but how I will measure. And the third thing, that you are getting success. Then you are measuring it also. That's very good. But what could impact my success? Doctor does a surgery. There are, with modern medication and best practices available in the medical profession, the success rates are very high. And it is clearly measurable that it will cure the problem. But still, there are something which could lead to unsuccessful operations. And doctors knows what could be an impact of those factors. And those are risks in any profession. And they have to have a mitigation plan. So that's why before having a mitigation plan for the risk or the factors which could dilute, which could delete, which could reduce your success, those factors must be known to you. Everything cannot be goody-goody. Clear? So these are the three basic questions which are intended to be asked. Okay, you have a screen in front of you right now. If I say project success from the multi-dimensional point of view, if I look, so I will categorize it in the first two aspects. One is project performance. Anyone who is from the project performance, they will always say that I have achieved my project triangle. What is the project triangle? One is the scope. I need to develop a township for 1,000 houses. Scope, 1,000 houses. I achieved it. Very good. It was to be made in 3 years duration or 5 years duration. So I achieved in 5 years. Very good. Schedule achieved. It was planned to achieve in 50 million. I achieved it at 48 million. Wow, very good. Or 50 million, for example. So that means the project is successful. You have achieved the project basic performance, which is called SSB, scope, schedule and budget, or SSC, cost. Clear? Now, the second dimension to see it. I'm building a township, correct? And I'm building a township for what reason? There should be some reason behind it. Somebody will be a stakeholder, somebody will be a customer. It's a normal saying, na? That if I speak in Hindi, in India, the sweet shopkeeper, the fellow who is owner of a sweet, मिठाई की दुकान वाला जो है वो अपनी खुद की मिठाई नहीं खाता है. The meaning is the sweet shopkeeper, the owner who belongs to that sweet shop, he does not eat the sweet from his shop. If he eats, then who will buy the sweets, correct? So similarly, the project manager or the project team is a team which delivers a project, but it delivers to somebody else who is your customer, stakeholder. Correct? So now township is built. The township was to be built for a mega plant coming, a petrochemical industry coming next to it. So for that, this township was made. So now the company, because of making this township, they could able to give a happy accommodation to a comfortable accommodation to their employees. They got a CSR value for that. They could able to, because that township is close to your petrochemical complex, your efficiency of the plant has increased now. Because your workers are able to come in time, go in time, no traffic congestion, correct? And because of this, your value realization has increased. Your plant efficiency has increased by 0.2%. And that has given your bottom line and top line a good jump of 5%. See, just a township concept. I have not gone to even plant. I'm just giving a... Next is strategic fit in the business value and needs, okay? Second is strategic alignment. You are able to meet your business goals, long-term goals, that you want a self-sustainable plant and it should run 24/7 without disruption. That's why you felt that this township is essential and you made it. Clear? Very good. But in our previous slide, we discussed that the factors which could impact your success are also very critical to be known. So what I say, it is possible for a project. I'm here right now. Be with me on this write-up. It is possible for a project to be successful from scope, schedule, and budget point of view, and to be unsuccessful from a business viewpoint. This can occur when there is a change in business needs or the market environment before the project is completed. That is a risk. Say, for example, we will extend our example further. That your plan was to build a good township which can support your 24/7 operations of your petrochemical complex. Everything very good, very good. Now, with that petrochemical complex, two things can happen. More than that can happen adversely, but I'm just quoting you two examples. Number one, that the pollution control boards, they put an hold on that what products you are manufacturing, they have a bad impact on human life, so you cannot produce this product anymore. See, sudden disruption happen. That is point number one. So you cannot produce it. Second is, you are exporting that product to specific countries, and those countries have banned those products because it is a bad impact on their life cycle. Those products are not good to use for making any bags, any petrochemical materials, anything. So those chemicals are banned in those countries which were your major customers. So your production has reduced to 25% because a couple of countries have stopped taking their products for the regime change in their country. There's a risk, business risk is always there. Getting my point? Same example of Kodak. You are making the cameras with X-ray film, and what happened? The industry pattern changes, industry shift to digital. So what will happen to your infrastructure and factory which is making the cameras with X-ray films? Of course, and say for example, you have just done an expansion of that plant, and the industry taste change, the customer regime changes, customer changes their mood, customer changes their liking, they want to go to digital. So what you have to shut your plants. So, and recently you have expanded your plant capacity. You are producing 5,000 pieces per day. Now you just expanded your capacity to 10,000, and this disruption happened. By any means you are forcing. We are supposed to see that risk. So we should know before starting the project that what could impact my success. Getting my point? So this is how the success looks. Dimension 1 and dimension 2. Project success is not the business success. They are two different things, remember. So dimension 1 is a project success. Dimension 2 is a business success, for which reason I made this project. Okay. Further in the business success, there are one more categorization is there, and which is very essential to know. That is a financial and non-financial measurement of the success. It is very essential dimension, by the way. What happened? The volume is not coming up or what exactly? My voice is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no, there was no problems. Okay, so now we look for the classification of project success from the financial measurement point of view, non-financial measurement point of view. Financial measures, who are from the financial background, they are very clear about the terms, but who are from the non-financial background, including me, I'll just simply explain you these values, and we are going to have another session on this, not in project management, when we are going to have the capex and opex considerations. So the first item is NPV, net present value. I will come to this afterwards. Okay, I will take IRR and I will take payback period. So payback period, as I told yesterday, that I'm investing 10 million, and in how much month I should recover my money? You says, Nitin, I'm going to get it into 5 years. I said, no, not acceptable. Make a business model where my payback period should not be more than 24 months. I want my capital to be free in 2 years or 3 years time maximum. I cannot keep waiting, because if I extend my life cycle, probably there's a business risk which could hit me. So payback period is, if I invest 10 million, I should get back that 10 million in 2 years time. So that 2 years is the payback period. And after that, my profit will start. Clear? So that is payback period, the time when I receive my investment back. Internal rate of return, IRR. This is nothing but, yesterday I was telling, I'm making something, I'm making a plant. What is an expected business? If I go for cement plant, I'm going to get returns around 17-18% return. But if I go for steel plant, I'm going to get 24% return. I'm just giving an example. No? They're all below 20%. But I'm just giving an example for comparison purpose. Or you'll say, no, Nitin, I'll go for a garment business. Garment business has more than 50% rate of return. So that's why that rate of return is nothing but what you get in the bank interest kind of thing. You get 7% interest on your FDRs, correct? If you invest in equity market, you get 12% return on 13%. With a good confidence level, you get average of that number. So this is that rate of return actually, correct? Okay. Then coming to the net present value. So today I'm getting 10 million. And now listen this point very clearly. NPV, I'm going to explain in a very simple word, you remember lifelong. I'm going to invest 10 million. You said, Nitin, very good. Nitin, what is your expectancy of this project? He said, I'm going to use this project purpose in my business. I'm going to use it for 10 years. I said, very good, very good. So in 10 years, today you are going to invest 10 million, but you are going to do business for 10 years. 10 million investing today, then making a plant or factory or any commercial complex, anything, XYZ project you are making. And then you are going to run your business for 10 years. So in 10 years, you are going to earn, say, total 10 million, 10 million, 15 million, like this you are going to earn. And then finally you'll say that I'm going to get, in next 10 years, if I add everything, what I got in the 10 years, it is going to be around 60 million, something like that. Understood my point? So you invest 10 million, and in next year, by the next year, like this about 10 years, if I add the total money of every year, it comes 60 million. But this 60 million is coming when? It is not coming on the day one. You invest 10 million and you don't get 60 million. To get the 60 million, you have to wait for 10 years. Correct? So now, at the end of 10th year, when you add every year, you are getting 60 million. But if I back calculate that amount, in today's terms, that amount is actually not 60 million today. Return. Investment is 10 million. What is the return today, net present value of my investment? So when you calculate that 60 million, back calculate it, depreciate it, reverse way, you are getting, say, around 11 million. Guys, don't get confused. I'm telling you a two simple thing. You put 10 million, you get 60 million after 10 years. But when this 60 million, you'll say, Nitin, this 60 million is after 10 years. What is the present value of this 60 million today? So the present value of this today is equivalent to 11 million. So now I'm investing 10 million and I'm getting 11 million today. That means I'm getting 10% profit. So business is profitable. I'm not making a loss. So this is called the present value of your future values. It should be more than your investment amount. If it comes 9 million, you will say, no, Nitin, this business is loss-making business. I will not do this business. So NPV should always be 0 or more positive to take the decisions. Clear? Now it is coming to benefit to cost ratio. That is nothing but what benefits I am going to get and the cost, that is a ratio. And returns on investment, what returns I am going to get actually. Internal rate of return was, I said something, but return on investment, when I say return on investment, so you say that I was expecting that my business will be considered good if I get 18%. But return on investment, no, we did a great job. Our forecast, our demand forecast was conservative, but we got a better demand. Actual demand was more. So I could be able to get my return on investment is almost now 32%. It is almost doubled because of the price has increased, the product price has increased a lot. So I got my profit margin increase, demand, number of units selling has increased. So that is my return on investment. So return on investment, you keep matching. Return on investment should always be more than your internal rate of return. That I planned to have, to keep myself smiley. I did say around 15 or 17 or 18% return. I'm very happy, but I'm getting more than that. So actual rate of investment and rate of return is very high. ROR is very high, or return on investment. Okay, rate of return or return on investment, ROI and ROR, I'm getting more. So I'm in happy conditions. This is something about the financial measures. Still project not started, we are talking success. After this, the second question comes, what are the non-financial measurements we can put? Okay, so one is completing movement of organization current state to desired future states. Very good. Now I was number one company in Kuwait, but now I'm among the top 3 in GCC region. My stature has changed, so I advanced. I'm one of the premium companies recognized in the GCC region. Fulfilling contract terms and conditions. Yes. That means I had an objective to meet the customer satisfaction, and for that I had made a contract and I have no legal dispute left out. That means you complete the contract, you complete the project through a contract, and okay, project is completed, but then you go with a contract and a legal dispute and everything. So no, we fulfilled the contract requirement in total. Meeting organization strategy, goals and objectives. Yes, I want to be top 3 in the GCC. It's meeting my requirement. Or even that, not even top in 3 GCC. I wanted to make something more environment friendly. That is my company vision. We want to be a green company. So in that case, our objective was to reduce the production, reduce the pollution, or reduce the resource loading on the environment. So I made a plant which has reduced my water consumption by half, which has reduced my electricity consumption by 30%. Yes, I did that. Achieving stakeholder satisfaction, end user adoption. The objective was to increase the product quality. Objective was to ensure that investors get good return, and the product which quality, when I improvise, my return on investment increase from 20% to 30%. So investors are also one of the important stakeholders. Baba. Achieving agreed upon quality of delivery. I achieved my quality. My plant was made exactly as planned. The final product is respectable in the industry. Somebody will say, not your output product. Huh? Suppose you are making garment. They say when you visit that factory, high degree of automation is there, minimum intervention is there, minimum risk is there, water consumption is achieved, correct? And so the quality of delivery, that plant has been made very perfectly. They say, if the shop is good, product will be automatically the customer. First impression goes on the shop. Then the second impression goes on the individual products. So when you build that shop, or when you build that factory premises for the better quality, better product life cycle, better environment compliant plant, correct? So all these things are satisfying. So that is another measurement of your success, which is called non-financial. Okay. Now, before I go to this slide, okay, I need to take you to the slide which is, give me 1 second. Yeah, okay, we are here. See, so far, since yesterday to till the last slide what we discussed, we were under the umbrella of pre-project work. Okay. We discussed need assessment, we discussed business case, we discussed benefit management plan. In this benefit management plan only, how you will measure your success, how the benefit will look, correct? All these things we discussed. So we were in the pre-project work. Now we are entering into the project life cycle, starting from here to up to this. These are called starting the project, organizing and preparing, carrying out the work, completing the project. They are nothing but they are the phases of the project. But before we get into those, there are 2 important things to look forward. One is called project charter and one is called project management plan. Then we will discuss about the project phases, processes and knowledge areas. Clear? So be with me now. This is a very important document. We are going to discuss about the project charter. What is the project charter? Which is being delivered in the first phase of project management, which is called the starting the project. Okay, so how the starting the project is linked to the project charter, we are going to see now. Clear, guys? I made it very simple and understandable from the picture representation. Don't worry about the graphs and everything, they are very important. Okay, now the project charter. What is project charter? A project charter, I will be first reading it so it goes, the concept goes very clearly. A project charter, a formally issued document by project initiator or sponsor that formally authorizes the existence of a project and provide the project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. Project sponsor, that means the owners. Okay, owners. They take a decision that finally, after all the analysis, need assessment, business case, benefit management plan, success verification, everything has done. So we finally decided that we'll go for one plant, garment industry plant. Okay, so now the owner will formally issue a project charter document duly signed to the project manager, assigned project manager, who was working with the team in the pre-project work also, because project manager has an experience. So he will be used as a consultant, okay, in the pre-project phase. But still he is there, but he is not empowered to execute the project till the time project charter is not issued by a project sponsor to the project manager. So a formally issued document by project initiator, project sponsor, project owner, company owner, business house owner. Clear? So they issue this document. To whom? Project manager. And project manager happily acknowledges this. He receives this. So it is signed by project sponsor. It is acknowledged by, received by project manager. Clear? What is the content? What is the purpose of the project charter? In the project charter document, it is nothing but a contract between the owner and the project manager. A contract which says that owner is telling to the project manager that, look, I have, and be with me now, this is point number 1, what it exactly contains. We are doing this project not for charity. We are doing this project for a purpose. We want to increase our bottom line. We are having our current bottom line is 7% rate of returns we are getting. We want to make it 20%. So we are adding this extra plant, high efficient plant to our assets, our portfolio. So we have to increase the sales, or we have to increase our profit. Clear-cut purpose of that project charter. No left and right, straight to the point. We want, now second thing, we want this plant to be ready by Q4 2026. Owner is telling her, guys, I cannot wait for a long duration. Don't tell me anything. I need this plant in my hand running in operations in next 4 quarters. Then this is second thing. So now this is an expectation of owner. I want this to be completed by this date, matter ends. Third comes, for this, I will allocate to you 2.5 million or 3 million. Fourth, define scope and key deliverables. I want a garment industry producing 10,000 garments per day. Clear? Define the scope. High level risk also, this was the scope, item 4. Item 5 is high level risk and success criteria. See, it is success criteria is part of that document. That I will consider this project successful if I get this scope, schedule, budget, everything in time, what I'm looking for, okay? And what are the possible risks in this business? So you should take care of this risk. The project owner will not hide the risk and silently ask project manager to sign it, okay? This is a document which is a live document, and the risk and all will be added further. The risk register is the risk register which has all the risk into it. It is a live dynamic document throughout the project life cycle and even after that also. So you understood the point now. Project charter is nothing but empowerment to the project manager by the project owner, okay? That let's go, take the money, take the resources, whatever resources you want, take it and go and complete the project by Q4 2026. So that is broadly project charter document. Okay. The second document which we saw was project management plan. Once project manager receives that project charter document, he now start working on the project framework. So the document which he prepares, importantly, is called the project management plan. The project management plan is defined as a document that describes how the project will be executed, monitored, and controlled. Now, we are purely in the project boundary frame now. Be clear about this. Business case is done, project charter is signed, that means we know what we need to do exactly. Now, project manager has to execute the project. He has to monitor the project, he has to control the project so that he can meet the success criteria. Scope, schedule, and cost. Scope, schedule, and budget. Then this document is developed, which work as a guide throughout the project life cycle. Okay, it describes many things. For example, how we are going to execute. Say I'll say it like this. Okay, how we are going to execute, what will be the activities, how many work packages we are going to have. So you can say, sir, garment industry 10,000 will come in this much square kilometer of areas. Okay, so what we are going to have a work package for water, we are going to have a work package for outside area development, we are going to have the main factory as a one work package, dividing the work from where the teams will come, what team manpower will be required, teams will be required, correct? Because you have a flus, you have a money, that money include cost of plant, and call whatever you require, it is there for you. It is not only project cost, resource cost. So from where the teams will be mobilized, deliverables, productions, how the deliverables will be produced, what we need it, because you have to make a plant, correct? So how we'll execute, correct? Are we going to do in-house, or we are going to hire a consultant for engineering? Are we going to hire a contractor for the construction work only? And procurement we'll do ourselves. So all these things are what will be our strategy. The guys who are from the project management point of view, they know the EPC project, engineering, procurement, construction project, EPMC construction project, PC project and construction projects only, or only construction projects, contracts. So that will be decided how we will execute the project, correct? Good. Next is how we monitor. How we execute, how we monitor. What will be our progress tracking, how we'll do our quality review, how we'll do our performance reporting. Because see, project owner will ask you all these things. So the project manager has to keep him updated every time. We saw that he needs regular updates. So you need to keep him updated. And not updating, first of all, you have to do a proper monitoring of your project so that you are able to deliver the project on time in the given schedule and you complete the scope as it is. Don't tell me, sir, I complete the project in Q4, but still my one phase of the project is balanced. No, you need to deliver the complete scope. So that is monitoring. Next is how we control. Control is a mechanism, how you do the control of the project. So what we do and what we do exactly under the umbrella of control. Change management. See what happens in the beginning when you envisage all the scopes get day by day, it becomes more threadbare, clear, correct? Okay. So probably in your original concept, you might not, you miss something and you want to add something. You miss some generators, you miss some equipment in your beginning thought process. So how to bring the change management? How to do a change for that in your original contract formats? How to resolve the issues? Because issues are prolonged, convert into another additional risk. What are the risk mitigation plans we have? Because risks are already identified in the business case document. You can add to that or you can update its status. No, what risks are identified, they are under control. We are able to manage these risks. You getting my point? And this was about the control. Then key integrated plans. We are going to see them in more. Scope, schedule, cost, quality, resources, okay, organization capabilities, risk, okay. So we have different integrated plans to address all these requirements of scope, schedule, quality, resources, correct? We'll discuss this in more details, don't worry. So up to this point it is clear, correct? This is another slide for project management plan. All the factors in the last one, what we see, different packages. Na? So that is for example, cost management, scope management, So how you do a scope management? So for the scope management, you make work breakdown structure. Simple example, suppose you want to do a work. So you break down, for this I need this item, okay, I need this work to be done. Then I need some money for this work, correct? So this is how we do our scope breakup. The plant, finally the 10 garment plant for 10,000 garments per day production is one unit, one scope, master scope is this. But it has many sub-activities, work breakdown. So when we break it down, we come to know we need 500 machineries, we need this much electric power supply, we need a substation for this, we need this much water requirement, like this, correct? So this is how we do a scope work breakdown. That is the first activity we need to be done. You break down. Owner has told you, sponsor has given you a project charter with, I need a garment plant with capacity to be 10,000 pieces per day production capacity, correct? But now this scope, when you break it down, then when you break it down, every activity will have a schedule, because every activity will have a money and a schedule. It will be completed in this 2 weeks time, one activity, and these activities goes into maybe thousands numbers, more than that, 10,000, 5,000 activities. And then every activity will have a schedule. So, and what milestone I want to achieve, which one is urgently required to be completed, critical path. That means I have no cushion. If I don't do today, can I do it tomorrow? If I can do it tomorrow, it's not a critical path activity. But if it is to be completed today, and because it has impact on other activity, then this activity become a critical path activity. Because this activity, if it's delayed, I'm telling you, okay, in project management we say it has a zero float. But if this activity delayed, it will delay the overall project schedule. So they are critical path activities. Communication management, risk management, cost management, quality management, resource management, procurement management, all these things are the part of the project management plan, that how we are going to integrate integration management also, correct? So how we are going to manage all these things. So that's why they are very essential component of the project management, and project management plan is one of the foundation document for the project execution, monitoring and control. Clear? Okay. So we have seen the project charter today. Before getting into entering into project life cycle, we saw project charter, we saw project management plan. Now we are going to have a discussion in this boundary, as I told you. Okay, in this boundary. In this boundary, as I explained you, what you see here: starting the project, organizing and preparing, carrying out the work, completing the project. They are the project phases. But these project phases are vertically downward, supported by two more items, mainly two more items, okay, or I will say some more components, which is called process groups, which is called knowledge areas. We got a glimpse of them before, don't worry, but now they will be categorized by name and a family name. And then you have the gates, that from here to here you want to go. So you cannot just go like this. If you don't fulfill requirement of starting the project, there is a gate here. This gate will only open when you complete here, and then you can go to organization. Got my point? So we are going to just look into these components, okay, very meticulously. That's why this is a diagram I have produced it again. Project key components, okay, and okay. What is this? This is project life cycle. These are the project phases, what you see in the red color here now. Then you have these are the, what diamond sign you see here, the diamond sign what you see here, this one, these diamond signs, they are the gates. Then we have the, what you call it, we have the, these are the, what you call it, this is a gates, these are the timelines. Then we have the process groups. In process groups, they are supporting the phases, correct? So they are initiating process group, planning process group, okay, executing process group, monitoring and control process group, and closing process group. So we have these process groups, okay. These process groups are further supported by the knowledge areas, 10 knowledge areas, okay. Got the point? So on this slide, I'm just taking a slow speed on this slide. You have the phases, which is starting the project, red arrow. The blue arrow indicate the timeline. You can see that. If you can see here, I'll be a little slow on this here. If you see here, this is called timeline. So starting the project, organizing the project. But when it comes to carrying out the project, you see the timeline is bigger, because when you really execute the project on the ground, you require more time. Correct? So this is just a depiction of, to give you a feel about it. And when it takes more time, maximum money is also spent there. If your total overall budget is 100%, in that 80, 85%, 90% is paid in this carrying out the work actually. Because here where you are doing the real work, you are executing on the ground the project. And they are all throughout the life cycle of the project life cycle. These process groups, which is called initiating process groups, planning process groups, executing process group, monitoring and group, closing process group, they support. And these process groups are again supported by 10 knowledge areas, which we are going to see. Both are we are going to see in the coming slides, okay? So here we discuss project phases. Again, I'm repeating, red arrow. Blue arrow is a timeline. Diamonds, what you see in the green arrow, what you see here, they are the check gates. If your preparation is not complete, it will not allow you to move here. It will say, sorry, you cannot go. I will not open the gate for you. So they are called the phase gates. You will not allow to go to next phase if you have not done your job properly in that phase. You are not meeting the criteria. Remember, I will do in the next phase, leave it right now. This kind of activities will lead to a jeopardy your situation. It may lead to a problematic things that you are not done your job in that phase, and it got piled up, and or because of not doing that job in that phase, you have miserably failed in the next phase. So that's why the check gate, phase gate, project gate system always allows you to ensure that you have done your job in that phase completely. Clear? So this is how the broad, this is from PMB, okay, means they are the guiding for these things. This is how we, our project runs through actually, okay. Yellow is a knowledge area, you saw that, correct now. Okay, same diagram is here right now, okay. For easy understanding, same diagram is depicted here, okay, which is project life cycle, okay, and this is a pictorial view which will be very easy for you to always understand the things, okay, what is the meaning of every process group, what is the project, what is the phases are defined, okay, and so but digest it slowly, no need to be in hurry. Okay, now we'll talk about the project life cycle phases, okay. So in each phase, what we do exactly means broadly, okay. So say for example, if I say here, starting the project, okay. Starting the project. So in the starting the project, what we do in this phase, define, first of all, we saw that there is a project charter is issued. Clear? Very good. So define project purpose and business case, create and authorize the project charter, identify initial stakeholder and their expectation. So basically, the major activity in this case is, if I say project charter and stakeholder identification. Stakeholder means anybody. There is nobody need to be ignored. Remember this point. Huh? All the government agencies, they are your stakeholder who are supposed to approve your plant. Remember this point, okay? Got the point? Yes. So in that scenario, suppose you missed one during starting of project and you did not seek an approval from them. So once you did not seek an approval from them and you reached to carrying out the project and they came and they, sorry, you don't have this, we cannot allow you to start construction. See what a big mistake we did. So that's why it is very important to identify your all stakeholders and their expectations, their requirements, how they could have an interface with my project. And I need to satisfy that interface with them. I need to comply. Yesterday I could use the word, okay? Project manager feel with a white chest, yeah, he's a project manager. No. I always say, a project manager is like a father in India whose daughter's marriage is organized, okay? So he has to coordinate with everybody to have a marriage successful, okay? It's a lighter part of the point, but just to hit your brain. So who are all the project managers? Be humble, be polite. In the first phase, in the first session, we discussed this point, basic ethics of the project management. Respect, correct? Be fair, be honest, be honor, correct? So when all these things comes, you don't ignore anybody. So the stakeholder engagement is very important. Don't miss any stakeholder to impact your project. That's why we do at the starting of the project itself, in this phase only. So one is a project charter, second is a stakeholder alignment. Stakeholder expectation, identification and their alignment over a period of time. You identify them, you expect them. You don't meet them in that phase, it's okay. But don't miss anybody. Marriage card distribution, na? Make the list of all the invitees. Don't miss them. You distribute the card once they are printed, okay? Of course, it's an electronic era, so printed card may be now not that popular, I'm not sure. Okay, so, but the idea is make the list complete who are all involved in that, who could impact your project. Second phase is organizing and preparing. Okay, now we are in second phase, okay? And at this check gate, the things will be checked, huh? You did all these things or not, okay? That is the thing. Now, so this will be a gate. This will be door open to go to next phase, okay? Now coming to organizing and preparing. Major activities. Develop the detailed project management plan. Thus we saw that it was there to develop a project management plan. Determine detailed scopes, schedule and budget baselines. Yes, you are going to define, because see, you got a bulk money in the project charter, but now you have to define detailed scope, schedule, budget baselines. What will be my cost, will be expenditure will be there, how the cost will be distributed, on design how much I'm going to spend, on procurement how much I'm going to spend, on construction how much I'm going to spend, on resources how much I'm going to spend. Analyze risk and define mitigation plan. Yes, we need to relook for the risk and their mitigation plans. Okay, then means rework on that, revisit that, add more risk, see your mitigation plan is clearly there or not. Because still I'm not working. I'm making the things on piece of paper. I'm making the things ready. I'm designing the systems. I'm looking for a contractor with whom I will contact. He will do a construction for me. And then what could be the risk? So I need to be aligned with that risk. I need to have a mitigation plan for that risk. Without that, a mitigation plan, I should not move forward. If any risk is holding me, be patient. Try to see a mitigation plan. Otherwise, I'll be stopped at this gate. I will not allow me to go to next gate with that risk carrying in pocket. Because that one risk could increase my construction cost by 30%. Nobody will allow that. The next is carrying out the work. Carrying out the work is who will do my work, okay? What will the major criteria will be there? Execute planned work. It will be done by a contractor, or I will do engineering, contractor will do procurement and construction, or I will do engineering, procurement, contractor will do construction. All you define. How I will going to have a monitor and control of the project. We need to monitor and control. Now project is realizing in the ground. Now manage resources also, all communications, because now how many correspondence will be there? Too much correspondence will be there. Communication, stakeholder engagement. See, all stakeholder comes in time, they don't delay, they don't impact. The person who is a stakeholder sitting remotely is really least bothered about your project, maybe because he has some other jobs like this. So it is you who has to ensure a timely schedule engagement of stakeholders. And once the project is completed, and this gate says, yes, you delivered your goods correctly, okay, the gate is open and we go to the ending the project. And what we do? We give it to, hand over to the owner back. We take their blessings, good, completion certificates are issued. We close out the contract without litigations, without disputes. We capture the lesson learned, because see, in spite of everything, we do a lot of mistakes. So those mistakes are not called mistakes, those called lesson learned. I missed this, or it could have been better than this. So we record that. And that lesson learned is, what we do in the closeout of the project becomes an input to the next project PMP document. That lesson learned is one of the input to the project management PMP plan when we are making a new project again. So this becomes as an input that I did that mistake last time. I missed one thing the last time, that I did not do a final customer survey before starting the plant or before starting the construction too, because the demand was changed. The nature of the liking of the persons have changed because of some different cultural changes, heritage changes. So this is how broadly the project phases are defined. They are basically, these project phases give you a product ready in your hands. So with this, we conclude our session today, because I know still we need to go into more detail into phases, and we'll get into the process areas, the responsibilities, so we'll take up that in the next session. So with this, we conclude our session. Thank you.